Hello, guesser. Welcome to my game. In this video, you'll be guessing Blackpink songs based on a story. Are you up for the challenge? Then, be my guesser and guess this song. Story 1.
The city lights blurred into streaks of color as Lisa moved through the night, a predator on the prowl. Her target wasn't a mark, but a desire, a person who had inadvertently ignited a firestorm within her. The lyrics echoed in her mind, a playful yet fierce declaration. If you're my man, I want you to myself. There was no room for sharing, no space for doubt. This wasn't just a crush. It was an obsession, a delicious madness. She knew there were enemies, rivals, distractions, the very fabric of the world that tried to keep them apart. But as long as this person was with her, nothing else mattered. She had everything she needed. Let the world rage. She was complete. A sly smile touched her lips. She was a snake, a master of the hunt, and this was a game of hide and seek she was destined to win. She would always find them, always close the distance. The thought sent a shiver of exhilaration down her spine. I went crazy over you, she admitted to the silent night, the words a confession and a promise. This wasn't about brute force. This required finesse, a delicate dance of attraction. She had to play it real smooth, making her move with precision, like a perfectly choreographed dance step. Every glance, every casual touch, every whispered word was part of her strategy, designed to draw them in, to make them curious, then captivated. Can you name the song?
Answer: Crazy Over You. Story 2.
Rose stepped onto the glittering stage, the roar of the crowd a familiar symphony. A smirk played on her lips, a silent acknowledgement of the power she held. Every line of her silhouette, every deliberate movement, screamed confidence and a fierce attitude. She knew who she was, unapologetically. Born skinny and chic, a whisper of a lyric echoed in her mind, a playful defiance. The air vibrated with an energetic beat, a pulse that matched her own. As the music intensified, a rebellious glint entered her eyes. This wasn't just a performance, it was a statement. She moved with a raw, untamed grace, a silent challenge to anyone who dared to underestimate her. The chorus hit, a surge of adrenaline, and she felt the primal urge to warn them. You better run, run, run. The words were a playful threat, a declaration of their unstoppable force. Then a shift. Her voice, usually soaring and melodic, dropped into a sharp, precise rap, cutting through the heavy bass. It was a moment of unexpected vocal dynamics, showcasing a versatility that surprised even those who thought they knew her. She was a paradox, a captivating blend of elegance and raw power. Pretty savage, the words solidified in the air around her, a title she wore with pride. She was owning every single second, a beautiful, untamable force. Can you guess the song?
Answer: Pretty Savage. Story 3.
The spotlight hit Lisa, and a current of pure empowerment and confidence surged through her. She owned the stage, every inch of it. A playful smirk touched her lips as the beat dropped, a silent declaration. I know I am. The energy radiating from her was palpable, almost visible. She could practically hear the unspoken thought of everyone watching. I'm so hot, I need a fan. This wasn't just a performance. It was an invitation to a party and dance anthem. Her body moved instinctively, a blur of sharp, powerful motions. I want to dance. The unspoken command vibrated through the arena, echoed by the thundering chant from the crowd. Bombea! The rhythm was a force, compelling everyone to let loose, to surrender to the moment. There was a rebellious and fearless attitude in every move. She imagined herself kicking down the door of every limitation, every doubt. The lyrics resonated deep within her, a mantra of defiance. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. This was the raw, untamed youthful energy of a generation living fully, unapologetically. Today, You and I are young, she screamed internally, a shared understanding with the thousands before her. A hunger for more, a relentless desire for excitement, fueled her every step. She wanted to push further, to explore the limits of what was possible. I want to run fast without knowing the end. The stage was her boundless horizon, the music her unstoppable current. What song is this?
Answer, Bombaya. Story 4.
The first note resonated from the jiamungo, a deep, ancient hum that filled the traditional Korean setting. Jisoo, adorned in a delicate white dress, her choker gleaming under the full moon, felt the power of the past intertwining with the pulse of the present. This was her heritage, her foundation. But a different beat began to stir, a primal rhythm calling her to something more. Suddenly, the serene scene shattered. She found herself in a blur of powerful and edgy visuals, a red leopard print flashing as she moved with fierce determination. A monstrous shadow, like a truck, broke through a wall in her mind's eye, and she felt the satisfying crunch of heels shattering glass beneath her. This wasn't just beauty, it was a force. A dark, viscous liquid seemed to swirl around her, a dangerous allure, the very essence of pink venom, flowing through her veins. Her journey through the dynamic choreography and set changes was relentless. One moment, she was commanding a dance in a desolate, futuristic concrete structure, her movement sharp and precise, embodying the phrase, "Look what you made us do." The next, she was gliding through an ornate white hall with deer statues, her colorful, eclectic outfit a vibrant contrast to the stark elegance, a silent declaration of, "I bring the pain," with every confident step.
Answer, pink venom. Story 5.
The fluorescent lights of Northwood High hummed, casting a dull glow on the lockers, but Lisa moved through the crowded hallway as if she were bathed in spotlights. Whispers followed her, a constant, low murmur that she had long since learned to ignore. Her body didn't belong to any of them, not their expectations, not their judgments. She wore what she wanted, and she hung out with whom she liked. There was no concealing it, no pretense. If someone told her to change, to conform, she simply wouldn't. Their opinions were just noise, easily dismissed. In the art room, paint splattered across her jeans, Lisa worked on a canvas, bold strokes of color defying the muted tones of the room. She sometimes liked to play dirty, pushing boundaries, challenging norms, refusing to be boxed in by anyone's idea of what a nice girl should be. She was getting hers, carving out her own space, living by her own rules. The whispers would continue, she knew, but they were just background noise to the symphony of her own making. Can you name the song?
Answer, Tally. Story 6.
Rose stood by the window, gazing at the city lights. A quiet hum of anticipation vibrated within her, a feeling of deep confidence and self-assurance that warmed her from the inside out. Tonight was the night. She sent a quick text. Ready? We're about to make some magic. She knew, without a doubt, that, "You know I got that shit that you like," and there was no need to explain the wild idea forming in her mind. The door burst open, and her friends poured in, a vibrant wave of energy. The girls are on the way. Rose grinned, feeling the instant surge of sisterhood and unity. Together, they were unstoppable. They were here to tear down walls, to feel alive, to shed every expectation. They were ready for their invitation to excitement. "Come up with me," she whispered, an unspoken promise to take you high and spice up your life. The music started, a pulse that immediately transformed the room into a full-blown party and celebration. They were bumping, baby, bouncing to the best, movements becoming fluid and free. Rose felt an exhilarating sense of empowerment and breaking free. This was their revolution, their declaration. Breaking out of this system, breaking out of this cage. With every laugh, every dance move, they were soaring, pure joy radiating from their very core. What song is this story hinting at?
Answer, jump. Story 7.
The air in the wooden room was thick with the scent of old warnings, a faint echo of her mother's voice. Be careful with love, Jennie. Jennie traced the grain of the polished wood, her mind already elsewhere. A single red balloon drifted past her window, a fleeting moment of innocence before the storm. She found herself on the rooftop, the city lights a distant hum below. Flames danced in glass cases around her, their heat a familiar embrace, not a threat. The moon, a silent witness, hung heavy in the sky as she moved, each step a testament to a desire she couldn't quell. A burning match, then a small flame held in her palm, felt less like danger and more like a promise. The warning was a whisper now, drowned out by the roar of an irresistible attraction. The warning echoed in her mind, a confession she hadn't yet voiced aloud. What if the fire was all she craved? What if the thrill of the burn was the only thing that made her feel truly alive? Flames flickered behind her as she sang, a fiery halo to her conviction. Can you name this song?
Answer, playing with fire. Story 8.
The air crackled with a palpable tension, thick as the velvet shadows that clung to the colossal, dark wings looming behind her. Jennie, encased in an elegant black gown that shimmered like spilled oil, felt a familiar surge of power. This was an arena, and she was ready for battle. Fire danced in the periphery, reflecting in her eyes that held the weight of past falls and the unwavering resolve to rise. Just moments ago, she'd been amidst a frozen landscape, the biting cold a stark contrast to the fire's embrace. Dressed in shimmering white, she'd been alone, ethereal figure in a world of ice, a stark reminder of the isolation that often accompanies ambition. But Jennie knew better than to stay frozen. The beat dropped, a thunderous pulse that vibrated through her very bones. Suddenly, the icy expanse shattered, replaced by a vibrant, pulsating jungle. Lush greenery exploded around her, a riot of color mirroring the resurgence within her soul. Here, adorned in a kaleidoscope of bold fabrics, Jennie moved with a ferocity that defied expectation. Every synchronized step with her fellow warriors was a declaration, a powerful rebuttal to every whisper of doubt. She remembered the whispers, the times she felt she'd collapsed, hitting rock bottom. But each fall had only fueled her fire. In a flash, the jungle gave way to a room bathed in dramatic red light, where countless black umbrellas hung like silent, ominous thoughts. Yet, even here, Jennie stood tall, a beacon of defiance. She was the one who would light up the sky, no matter how dark the place. The final sequence brought a fusion of her journey. Dressed in an outfit that subtly wove in threads of her heritage, Jennie led the battle to win it. She had risen, not just for herself, but for every dream that refused to die. Can you guess the song this story is based on?
Answer, How You Like That. Story 9.
The soft glow of the city lights filtered through Jennie's window, casting long, shifting shadows across her room. She traced the rim of a forgotten teacup, her mind a tangled knot of contradictions. Love. The word itself felt heavy, burdened with a history of goodbyes she'd initiated. It wasn't that she didn't want it. It was that she found it so incredibly hard to truly love. Every time a connection deepened, every time the warmth threatened to become an inferno, a cold dread would settle in. It was an instinct, almost a reflex, to pull back, to create distance. She'd seen the hurt in their eyes, the confusion, the eventual resignation. And she knew, with a painful clarity, that it was her. I push people away when things feel too good, she admitted to herself, the truth a bitter pill. She was acutely aware of her own issues, the complexities and insecurities that made her, well, hard to be with. She carried a past she hadn't fully processed, a mosaic of broken trusts and unspoken fears. It wasn't fair to drag anyone else into that labyrinth. She remembered the look in his eyes, hopeful and earnest, as he spoke of a future. Her throat had tightened. You should keep your distance, she'd wanted to say. Don't fall too hard. I'm likely to cause you pain. Instead, she'd offered a polite, distant smile, a subtle barrier that usually worked. It was a strange form of protection, this self-sabotage, a twisted act of kindness to save them from the inevitable heartache she felt she was destined to inflict. She was trying to save them from her. What song is this story hinting at? Do you know?
Answer: Hard to Love. Story 10.
The world around Rose was a blur of vibrant pink and electric yellow, a kaleidoscope of motion that mirrored the frantic beating of her heart. Every beat, every pulse, felt like it wasn't her own, dizzying and exhilarating. This was it, she knew. This was the love that felt like the last, the one that would consume her entirely. She moved through a grand, pillared structure, her steps precise and powerful, part of a synchronized dance that felt like a plea, a desperate embrace of the moment. Her outfit, a crisp schoolgirl uniform, felt almost ironic against the intensity bubbling within her. Then, in a flash, she was in a pink subway station, the neon signs flickering with promises of forever, or perhaps just for now. The urgency of it all, the desperate need for this connection, pulsed through her veins. A vintage car, sleek and timeless, idled nearby, a symbol of a journey she was embarking on, one without a clear destination, only the overwhelming desire to be loved. Her face, captured in a close-up, revealed every raw emotion, the longing, the vulnerability, the fierce determination to hold onto this feeling. Finally, she found herself on a bed, impossibly floating on water, surrounded by an ethereal glow. It was a dreamlike state, suspended between reality and the depths of her emotions. Her heart was no longer her own. It belonged entirely to this love, this last, unforgettable connection. She surrendered to it, letting it wash over her, knowing that even if it was a lie, even if it was fleeting, it was everything she needed right now.
As If It's Your Last. Story 11.
The autumn leaves swirled outside Jess's window, each one a poignant reminder of seasons changing, of time moving on. Yet, within her, a profound, unwavering devotion remained. She knew it was foolish, perhaps even masochistic, to cling to a love that had slipped through her fingers. "I'm such a fool," she whispered to the empty room, acknowledging the persistent ache in her chest. She traced the outline of the empty seat beside her on the sofa, a constant, painful reminder of a lingering presence. Even now, after all this time, that space, meant for him, remained unfilled in her heart. She often imagined him, happy, thriving, with someone new. It was a bittersweet vision, one she actively wished for, despite the agony. The thought of his happiness, even without her, was a form of sacrifice and pain she willingly embraced. She pictured him smiling, truly smiling, and hoped, with every fiber of her being, that he would be so content, so utterly fulfilled, that he would finally forget her. It was the ultimate act of love, letting go completely, even if it meant her own heart would forever carry the imprint of his absence. Do you know the title of this song?
Answer: Hope Not. Story 12.
The taxi sped through the rain-slicked streets of Seoul, the neon signs blurring into streaks of melancholic light. Jisoo watched the cityscape drift by, each gleaming tower a testament to human connection she felt increasingly estranged from. Love, they called it. A grand, sweeping emotion celebrated in every K-drama, every pop song. But all Jisoo felt was its sharp, persistent ache. She remembered the naive hope that had once fluttered in her chest, the belief in fairy tale endings. A Cupid's arrow, once envisioned as a symbol of destined connection, now felt like a cruel joke, a barbed reminder of a target she could never quite hit. She chased the idea of romantic love, the kind with handwritten letters and soulmate connections, but the reality was a string of fleeting moments and unanswered questions. The grand gestures, the promises of forever, they felt like hollow cliches in the face of her persistent loneliness. The taxi pulled up to her apartment building, the silence inside amplifying the emptiness she carried. She wandered through the rooms, the faint ticking of an hourglass on her bedside table a stark reminder of time slipping away, pink sand flowing relentlessly, each grain a lost opportunity for the love she still, inexplicably, craved. The roads she had traveled, both literal and metaphorical, in search of that elusive connection stretched out behind her, a map of dead ends and detours. Despite the pain, despite the crushing weight of her rejection of traditional romance, a stubborn flicker of hope remained. She's still looking for love. Can you name the song?
Answer: Lovesick Girls. Congratulations on completing the challenge. Did you manage to name them all correctly? Let me know in the comments below, and help me hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more song challenges from me. See you soon.